Hey, all you Arizona lovers. This is the Finding Arizona podcast, episode number 360. Yes, 360. We have made it here. We are also on our way to 400. I'm so excited. This episode is actually with Over Easy, one of the favorite breakfast spots in Arizona. I want to say thank you to Justin and Jeff, who came on the show and just spilled a lot of information. But I just want to say also, this is a fantastic episode where we got to experience it in person, live at the Chandler location. So we hope that you guys enjoy this episode there. And on top of that, we got a lot of B-roll that'll include what they have to offer and how much that we enjoyed their food. So that being said, let's get into a little bit of business. You can hear every episode of Finding Arizona Podcast at www.findingarizonapodcast.com. If you would like to stay with us on social media, you can do so at Finding Arizona Podcast under everything: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You click it and you like it and you let us also know. You can tell us what you want in next. That's really great for us to have feedback. But I just say, all in all, everything is under Finding Arizona Podcast. Last but not least, if you want to send us an email at findingarizonapodcast@gmail.com, that's also a place where you can go send who you want in next, or if you have a suggestion or idea. That is so great to us because it helps us know that you guys are listening and want to be a part of our family. Last but not least, I just want to take a moment to share with you guys that we are working very hard to make sure that this video package is staying together like this. So we hope that you guys enjoy it. Let's get into the episode. See you on the next one. Welcome back, everybody, to the Finding Arizona podcast. I'm your host, Jose. As always, we bring in fantastic guests. Today's going to be an exciting one for me just because we were just talking earlier. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in Chandler at Over Easy. And I'm going to let these two gentlemen introduce themselves because I'm going to say, like, you're both co-owners, owners. Let's understand what each of you bring to the table. Sure. We're going to start here on the far right and then work our way across.
My name is Justin Woodard. I'm executive chef for the company. I just kind of handle, mostly food and all the fun stuff in between.
Nice.
Yep.
My name's Jeff Terpay. I'm an owner-operator, so I currently run the Queen Creek store.
Yes.
Way out in Queen Creek, Arizona. And I've been with Over Easy since 2012.
Nice. Okay, so Justin, I'm going to start with you here. And I'm going to get your perspective of, I always start with kind of like the origin story.
Sure.
How did food and this restaurant come into your life?
I'll keep it simple because that's usually a long story. There's
Totally.
this big backstory, but for me, I've been cooking since I was a kid. I learned a lot of stuff from my grandmother. She was a big influence on my culinary career.
Nice.
It's difficult for me, when I started to grow, I went to college, as you kind of grow into yourself, you realize the things that are important to you. And, to me, it was food. Everything was about food. So, I learned how to make a career out of it. I started just kind of, getting, my foot in the door wherever I could, places that I thought would really help me out and kind of advance my career. So that's what I did throughout the years, just kind of picked up little bits here and there, and came to Over Easy last year.
Nice.
Breakfast was not something that I'd ever done on a professional level.
Okay.
So I was very excited to join the group and really kind of, put another feather in my cap, if you will.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, absolutely. That's kind of my story.
So Jeff, right? Jeff, I'm saying, yeah.
Got it right?
I want to ask you this because we're sitting in this wonderful spot, and just as an owner and as being part of the managerial position and understanding the concept of this breakfast spot, and it's not more than just it's more than breakfast, it's lunch. I would love to get your origin story. Just first, how you ended up here, but secondly, I'd love to understand why you chose this particular spot.
Yeah. So Over Easy, I started in 2012, so I've actually worked breakfast since I was 16 years old.
Wow.
So for 20 years working breakfast.
Nice.
And first of all, the hours, right? We're open from 6:30 in the morning to 2 p.m. Great hours. Breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. I love coffee. It's just, I'm definitely a morning person, and it's just something I've always wanted to do. Just working a nice morning job.
Nice.
Customer service is what I've been doing for 20 years.
Wow.
And this is all customer service. So I really love talking to guests. I love talking to employees and helping them out. It's just really fun job.
Yeah. So both of you have this very deep, rich history with culinary arts and just hospitality, so to speak.
Yep.
Let me grab Justin first. I would love to understand your relationship with your like food, and just as an overall person who's like I love food. I grew up on I'm Native American, so I grew up in the north part in the north near the Four Corners.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I really appreciate is a good breakfast.
Absolutely.
And just because that lifestyle up there was like having a good breakfast really starts off your morning, and just my relationship with food also was kind of like yours. Is I actually my dad, he started doing hot dogs, like a hot dog kind of lunch program, and on the Indian reservation, it's like he was known as the hot dog guy, and then he bought his very first food truck. And so my summers and my relationship with food is like prepping and just being behind the scenes. So for you, I'd love to understand, like, for you, like, is there an ideal breakfast for you? And then on top of that, like, how do you make sure that some of the negativity or some of the angst that comes with the job, stay at the job and not take it home with you? Because you have a kitchen at home. How do you disassociate?
It's a tough relationship. I think it's you have to look at it like it's a labor of love. You know?
Yeah.
If you don't love it, it's going to be difficult. You know, and I learned to love what I do years ago, a long time ago. And that's kind of why I took my time really finding my passion later in life. I didn't start cooking professionally until I was in my mid-20s.
Okay.
So for the last 20 years or so, I've just continued to develop that knowledge. And you touched on it earlier, food is memories for people, my grandmother's chicken cacciatore, I cannot replicate it, no matter how good I think I am or how good I think the dish is, it just never quite tastes the same to me. So, I think that's an important part of, what we do is that, there's habits there. Breakfast is a habit. People want to go out, they want to have coffee, they want to have toast, and, as far as, providing something that, we're proud of, that's why we're here. We love what we do, number one. Number two, we're proud of the product we're putting out. And, that's important for me as a culinarian, So when I look at those things and I go home at night, I can be proud of the work that I did. Maybe got to meet a couple cool people that came in, maybe some new guests or something. As a chef, that's not often that we get to do that. We're usually in the back, dealing with one thing or another. But I will say that as far as not taking it home, it's a challenge. I'm not gonna lie, it's difficult to try to separate the two. But ultimately, when you have such a love and a passion for what you do, ultimately it's just a part of who you are.
Fuels the fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Jeff, I understand, like, from your perspective, there's this kind of like, you have to keep the books and make sure things are running, and I would love to ask your perspective of like, what keeps you, like, how do you keep balance? Like, how do you find the balance of like life and work and all of that? Because I mean, you're running a real life restaurant, and it has its ups and downs, in particular too with the pandemic and having to recover from that. I'd love to understand that perspective.
Yeah, well, this is a big family atmosphere. So every employee here, we're all just one big family. It's a lot of teamwork. We work together really well. Like I said, we're just morning. We're just 6 to 2. It's just running a breakfast restaurant. It's just we're just in this building working together, and then we know 2 o'clock, you can kind of step away and do your own thing. But we feel like this restaurant, we feel like this is a big family, and I think doing it for so long, it just comes natural. Just that customer service.
As you start to like build up your repertoire and things like that with the group and everyone, it's like it gets a little bit easier and easier.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, post-COVID, I feel like everything's kind of all back to normal. I feel like everyone's out and about. Sales are higher than it's been since before COVID.
Nice.
But yeah.
So I'd love to get, like, now I'm gonna try and focus in on your end of the spectrum, is just because what we've experienced from other restaurants and other people who have vocalized it is just that understand, like some people or some groups are not going out in person. They're doing delivery, they're doing the take-home menus, they're doing all of that. How, from your perspective, how are you keeping your clientele coming in on the face-to-face basis?
I feel like we've made everything easier.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can order online now.
Yeah.
You can even get curbside delivery. You can get curbside.
Nice.
You can do delivery through a bunch of different apps. But we've made everything easier for the customer. You can order right from your phone. You can use Apple Pay. I feel like things have changed big time.
Yeah, that frequency of like frustration in the little things where it's like, you know, not having certain aspects like curbside and things like that has become kind of this overall umbrella now of like it's a must for restaurants to keep themselves afloat and things like that.
Yeah.
The other thing I'd love to ask you too is kind of the social media side, and just seeing from my perspective of being a social guy and just seeing what you guys done with the local groups like John Jay and Rich and some of the other people who have been close ties to Chandler in particular too. We have I saw your social media post with Coupley Fit, which is a friend of ours. Actually, we interviewed them not too long ago. And so it was great to kind of see that relationship with the community. And is that something that you take fondness in? And do you enjoy kind of being that stable like group of like, we want to focus in on this community, we want to help this group?
Oh yeah, definitely. And I would say same thing with Love Pub, with what John Jay is doing with Love Pub.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that is awesome. $1 from every special goes towards Love Pub.
Nice.
And we've been doing that for 2 months now.
I did not
We're
know
gonna
that. That's great.
Continue it through the summer.
That's so cool. Is that something that you guys were like, was that a big project to bring that kind of localization in? Or was that something, like how long did it take to kind of get that group or get that kind of association going?
I think we've been talking about it during the
Takes
spring.
a while.
Yeah.
You're building the whole program, around giving back, and it's, and to me, I think they're, important because you really take something that you're passionate about, and animals are something that people are passionate about, and that's something that they're passionate about as well. And, I think as a chef, we love local stuff. I mean, that's what we look for. And being a part of a local group, and, Jeff touched on it earlier, that local family feel. Even though we have as many locations as we have, it still does feel like that, which is really hard to do at a lot of places. So, but yeah, a lot of thought goes into that stuff for sure.
That's really great. The other thing, like you brought it up, is as you guys have multiple locations, and I've only heard that you guys are starting to expand and grow a little bit more. I'd love to get both of your understanding of, like, one, the food side. How is that kind of the programming of it, the gathering of assets and things like that. From your end, what are the changes? What are some of the things that you are, as you grow, what are some of the things that are changing, and what are some of the things that you want to keep with your business?
Yeah, I think it's, there's always a give and take when you grow. When you get to a certain point, you have to make adjustments, for volume, when you have 10, 11, 12, 13 locations, you have to make them consistent at each location. You want everyone to have the same experience at Chandler that they do at Awatuki or Queen Creek. So, and there's challenges in that for sure, but I think we overcome that by using technology. I think that's a big part of what we do these days. And I think that's the biggest change for us, at least in the back of the house, is the introduction of some of these really deep programs that, not just financially, but that kind of help keep us fluid as we grow. That kind of keep everybody on the same playing field for the most part.
Is there going to be any changes to the menu at all as you grow?
I think so. I would say that I don't anticipate any of this, the items that have made us who we are today. I don't see that changing anytime soon, nor should it. But the incorporation of specials and things like that, I think that will be a big part of our growth as well.
Awesome.
We're always testing new things out. Sometimes things work, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what keeps us, on that, that small family, feel. I think that's important to us. So yeah, we'll continue to do that.
For yourself, as you start to grow and get these new business going, for you, what are the things that you are keeping in mind so that you kind of, like you said, keep that same family feel to it?
Yeah, I'd say it starts with staff. I feel like we try to hire staff that's that are morning people, and
Definitely.
that are just really happy. We look for really good people. It starts with staff, and I feel like just try to stay consistent between all the stores.
Yeah.
So everything's exactly the same.
Let me ask you this for the aspect of like the store, actually, like the brick and mortars. Is there any? You can tell me like yes or no, but that's fine. But like, is there any real appreciation or understanding of like location where the actual store lies?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I think that's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's certain areas in town where you certainly don't want to overstimulate the area with either multiple burger shops and taco shops, but there's no shame in having competition either. I think that makes us better, it makes them better, and I think you bring more people out saying, hey, we do this really well, maybe they do something different over there. And,
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's fair. I love that as a chef. I think that's good for everybody.
The one reason why I ask you this, and it's just because I've been there, I've grown up there, is Flagstaff. The Flagstaff and just kind of the market of breakfast, brunch, and lunch in that area is so predominant in the colleges and what else is there. I just was like, I didn't know if there was a factor of like, maybe, like you said, overstimulating the market and just like putting yourselves in that. So thank you for making me understand that perspective.
Yep.
So is there, for the future goals of this business, between the two of you, can you give us any understanding or appreciation for, as you guys start to expand, what can we anticipate or look out for, or just really help, maybe even help you guys achieve certain goals to help you to the future? Yeah, I'll start with Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff.
Oh yeah, I mean, we have 11 stores currently, and we look to stay in Arizona for the next 2 or 3 years, but we're looking to open up about 6 new stores. I'd say about 2 a year.
Okay, nice.
2 a year. So.
Is there kind of an anticipated location area? Because I know as this city gets bigger, there's ties to the outer surrounding areas like Surprise and just the growth market from that perspective of businesses being out there and their shipping, manufacturing, all those big boxes that are just going to go out there. Do you guys anticipate that reach, or is it more towards certain areas, towards the center, or whatever they may be?
No, the outskirts. We were really shocked and surprised how busy it is out there. Queen Creek is the farthest location east, and Surprise is our farthest location west.
Yes.
And those 2 stores are very busy. So, there's just this place, Arizona's growing, and it's all on the outskirts right now.
Yep. Does that surprise you? Does that make you happy? Like, what's the feeling for you as being the guy behind the scenes right there?
Yeah, I guess it's not really surprising because I've lived in Queen Creek for 5 years now.
Okay.
And I see how many people are out there.
Yeah.
And a lot of early morning risers. Breakfast is really big out there.
Yep.
Same thing in Surprise.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely doesn't surprise me. But I feel like, if we want to open up more locations, those outskirts are really good for us.
Those, and really what it is I think, from my perspective, is just like, it's an exciting time to be in any market because this city is growing at an exponential rate. You can see it all over the place. Driving down from downtown, we saw, I think, 3, maybe 2 buildings being, built, and like large buildings for distribution, manufacturing, and it's just like, wow, this city is constantly changing and growing, and so it's really cool to see from this perspective of someone interviewing the owners and people who are wanting to make a difference and wanting to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So I'd love to get, like, one thing I've kind of taken away from just the pandemic is kind of the silver lining of, like, finding the silver lining, so to speak. It's like, it was a tragedy, but through that, businesses have been able to ask themselves, what do we bring to the market? What is our crowning achievement? And ask themselves that certain question. Do you feel the same way about, the restaurant business, and do you feel the same way about your actual business here? Do you guys feel like you've made the right changes, right pivots?
I think so. I mean, it was such a weird time for everybody, and I know what I took out of it personally. It kind of really made me rethink how I approach my day, and I thought, if I'm going to continue to do this and continue to, live this life that I live as a chef and as a, somebody that works in a business, in the hospitality business, I want to be able to enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
I want to go to work. I want to be happy. And I know that's sort of cliched, and of course everybody wants that, but unfortunately it's not a reality for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that I think that's what I took out of it. But honestly, I think this group kind of took a lot of that as well and said, hey, we're going to protect our people. We're going to protect our family. We love we love what we do. We love the product that we put out. So let's continue to do that, and hopefully that will speak for itself. And Jeff could probably attest to this, but I think obviously we've done really well with that.
Oh, definitely. I think so. Can you believe it's already been 3 years?
I know. It's crazy, right? Like, just to see some of the people who've made it, some of the people who haven't made it, like, it just blows your mind that, like, wow, this thing that was such a big foundational rupture towards everyone is just now we're coming to see kind of the overall aspects of, like, the ripple effect of it all. And so for me, as someone who's trying to, in a positive manner, just see what has happened, it's incredible to me to, like, see some of what the community says, let's keep this, let's save this group, or let's keep bringing business to this group. So kudos, first off, but secondly, thank you again for, like, being so mindful that you have the ability to make an effect on the community, and they said yes, we want to keep you guys, or we want to do business with you guys. So it's applause, it's kudos, it's everything in between. So I'll ask you this, Jeff, is what's the biggest lessons you've learned from this community and this kind of, like, being in Arizona?
Well, we have to thank the customers, right, for coming back and supporting us. So I feel like when we did a lot of good deals for the customers, right, during COVID.
Yeah.
We had a 50% off day. We had the to-go mimosas, all that stuff. So we really took care of the customers, and they had our backs, and they kept coming back for us.
Awesome.
I really did that.
I really appreciate that answer, because that's kind of what I was looking for, is just kind of, like, understanding the back and forth, and just, having appreciation. Justin, I'd love to understand from your aspect of what's the biggest thing you've learned from this community, or this living here in Arizona.
I mean, I'd love to tell you I'm a native. I've been here for over 30 years, originally from Seattle. But, growing up and spending my younger years here, and you talked about it earlier about the growth of the city, it's just been exponential. I mean, it doesn't even feel like the same town that it felt like, just 15, 20 years ago, or even 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that, you could go anywhere within the city and there's these pockets.
Yes.
And they are very loyal to their community, and I love that so much about Chandler, Gilbert, Mesa, Cave Creek, where I live, Scottsdale, where I grew up. There's very unique feels in every corner of this city, and you wouldn't expect that, but I guess in some of these bigger cities like San Francisco and LA, in LA and New York, you will have those pockets, and you can have a completely different experience at one over easy, and then go to the other side of the city, have the same great food, but have a different experience, because there's different people, there's a different focus, and that's really what I love about, the communities and the state and city.
So I really appreciate both of your answers, because it gives us a dynamic of, like, kitchen and management, and it's just one part of a big overall, like, circle that you guys provide. I really appreciate what you guys are consistent with is, again, the food, the environment, the atmosphere, all positive. So thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you again for what you guys provide every day. I'd love to get a little bit more personal. I'd love to get, Jeff, what's your favorite thing on the menu, and Justin, the same thing.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Jeff.
My favorite thing on the menu, I think it changes every month.
Sure.
But right now, the Hatch 505 Benedict.
Nice.
Favorite thing on the menu.
Why? Why is that?
It's just got a good kick. It's a nice spicy dish. It's a Benedict that's on a cheddar jalapeno biscuit. Homemade cheddar jalapeno biscuit. It's not with your traditional hollandaise sauce on top. It's smothered with green chili.
Ooh.
So I'd have to say that is my favorite thing on the menu.
Can I ask you, so you're a spice guy?
Yes, I am a spice guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So is that come from your family, or is that just something that you picked up on your own?
No, growing up, my family didn't really like spice. So I
Really?
just learned to like it when I was a teenager, I'd say. But no, my family wasn't really big on spice. But no, you start branching out, and you develop the taste for the Hatch green chilies. And
All right.
Yeah, I like the spice. But if I want to go to the griddle, something on the sweeter side, I'd have to say the Reese's pancakes. Reese's pancakes.
Now you're making me salivate. I'm a sweet tooth kind of guy.
Yeah,
so
I'm a sweet tooth. Yeah, you just need a couple bites, you know.
Okay, nice. Justin, I expect there just like I half expect it to be like a custom order. Like,
I mean, you kind of have to get you want to customize things. You know?
Yeah.
You see the same things every day, but they rotate just the same as Jeff. I think right now I've been stuck on it probably for a good 6 months. I love our protein pancakes.
Oh, nice.
They're on the lighter side, which seems like it wouldn't be, but you get a little bit more. You get the pecans, you get the quinoa in there. I really like that that feel. Agave nectar, so you do get the sweet, which I love, but it's filling. When I get crazy, sometimes I'll do a protein waffle. Because I want that crisp on there. So that's something I probably get more often than anything else. But I try to keep it clean. Sometimes I'll just do a little egg white avocado, a little side of chicken.
So now I'm like looking at you. I'm like, yeah, you're in shape. You got like, you seem like you got
Flattery
like
will get you everywhere.
Yeah, you got like the full, like, I just want to know. It's like, so being in this business, can it be a little bit difficult, being like healthy, trying to keep healthy and stuff, but it's incredible that you have like what you work with now is like the egg whites and stuff like that kind of to allow you to have that freedom and have that ability to keep healthy. And just like,
it takes a lot of willpower, I'll tell you that.
I was going to say, it must be a lot of willpower involved. So again, I'd love, you guys have been so fantastic to us and giving us a little bit of your time and a lot of your personal space. I just want to finish off by saying, is there a goal that you have in mind that our listeners can help you with, or anything that you guys want to leave at the table as a final bit for us?
It's a good question.
Thank you.
Yeah, really good question.
I mean, we love feedback. I can tell you that.
Okay, that's wonderful.
There's nothing that we do that we don't think could be better, at any point. I mean, that's the part of hospitality that I think a lot of people aren't familiar with, is that we're always changing things, whether it's a style of service or adjusting a recipe here or there, because we want things to be better, but we also know that food and taste evolves. That's the one thing about what we do that we know for sure, is that it's going to change. So we love hearing that feedback. I think that's something that we've gotten comfortable with for sure. Because we want people to have that experience. It's their experience.
Absolutely.
So that's one thing I can say.
Yeah, and then we do let our customers know like what's the best part about coming to Over Easy. We think everything here is just top notch. Going from the orange juice, from being fresh squeezed over there,
Nice.
we squeeze our own juice.
Oh, I see it. Yes.
Our omelets are all real fresh cracked eggs.
Nice.
We don't use liquid eggs, so everything here is freshly made, and we feel like we really believe that we are the best breakfast restaurant in Arizona. And
I've heard nothing but great positive reviews. Anytime I ask about Over Easy, that people give me like, oh, you got to try this, or you got to go at least, or all the positive. So again, from someone who's an outside perspective, I think you're absolutely right. We've heard nothing but positive things about you guys. So it's a real testament to the hard work that is continued throughout the days that you guys do every day. But it's also a testament to the hard work that you, as the management part, bringing to the spectrum of like, look, guys, we have to achieve this goal. It's a continual thing. And so from kitchen to management, applause. And I usually like to leave the end bit for you guys to, like, if I missed anything, let me know, because I want to talk about it. Did I miss anything?
No, it's been great. Thanks for having us. I mean, we're happy to talk about things we love and are passionate about. And, if we can shine some light on how we make it, what we make it. That's always a good thing for us.
Yeah.
Kind of peel the curtain back a little bit.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming out. We really appreciate it.
And before we go, can you give us, maybe social media handles and where people can find you online? Give us a little bit more extra information about the Give Back program as well.
Yeah, definitely. The website is eatatovereasy.com, and then the Instagram handle is at eatatovereasy. We're also on Facebook as well, but it's huge. Instagram's huge. I mean, every day we put photos of our food and drinks, different promos we got going on, all of our specials.
So that's where you would go if you want the promos and everything to find out where what's on. Yep.
because our menu may be a little overwhelming. So if you're looking at our menu, you want to see pictures, just go to our Instagram. We got a lot of pictures on there.
Yes. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, you can catch our episodes at findingarizonapodcast.com. We make it easy for you guys to connect with us, so everything under social media is Finding Arizona Podcast. Last but not least, we always say kisses, hugs, and belly rubs to our four-legged friends. That's just our outro. But I'd love to ask you guys are going to be the first that I ask this of you. Can you guys just, give us a little bit of a little tease of not a tease, can you just say you're watching you're listening to Finding Arizona Podcast? That's just something I'd love to get from now on. It's just
Arizona Finding Podcast?
Yeah, Finding Arizona Podcast.
Finding Arizona Podcast.
Yeah.
Finding Arizona Podcast.
Thank you guys, I appreciate it.
You're listening to Finding Arizona Podcast.
Boom, I appreciate that.